Blue Lock chapter 242 starts with the past of Ness that is revealed, and he pursued magic in a world where he was all alone. We can see Ness in a monologue, and Ness says that his parents are scientists. I can already tell that Ness' motive behind football is the magic and beauty behind it, and his parents taught him everything that happens on Earth that can be explained. One day Ness got home with a bleeding wound on his arm, and Ness asked his father if he could heal his wound with healing magic, but his dad instantly denied such a possibility and wants him to wash it off quickly and disinfect it. Because if the wound remains dirty, bacteria will enter, and not only will the wound be difficult to heal, it would also spread to the surrounding area, which could lead to death in the worst case. His mom then joined them, and Ness was scared and asked his mom if he was going to die, but his mom explained to him that there's a possibility less than 0.01% of death, but he needs to report every time and have the ability to solve problems himself. Ness' siblings enter the room as well, and Ness is reading a book and asks his brother and sister if he can summon a monster with summoning magic. His brother tells Ness to go ahead and try it, and that Ness is an idiot, as he explained to him several times in the past that there's no reality where magic exists. It's just a product of imagination. His sister also calls Ness an idiot and tells him that magic is just a made-up story and that he needs to stop talking about these things. Ness then came to the conclusion that magic doesn't exist in his home and accepted reality. One day Ness was playing in the snow wearing a wizard's hat and cape with a makeshift staff and trying to summon a monster by using a snowman. With a spell, Ness is trying to cast some magic, and his brother and sister suddenly went out to him as Ness quickly grabbed his stuff. His siblings complain that Ness is way too noisy and that they can concentrate on their research and that he needs to stop. His brother then broke his stuff and his sister kicked the snowman, and then they went to their parents and told their father that Ness is talking about magic again and if he really is his child. His parents answered in a cold way that snow is composed of dust and garbage in the air, which is why they shouldn't come into the house with hands that have touched the dirty snow, and his father once again states that the family is full of scientists and it is their mission to research supernatural phenomena and unknown events and clarify them. They don't need people in their house who believe in unexplainable things. Ness is crying as his siblings are walking away, and Ness is looking at the fallen snowman and broken stuff of his. Ness is crying as his siblings are walking away, and Ness is looking at his fallen snowman and broken stuff. He isn't impressed by scientists, as they can't explain why he likes magic in the first place, and they aren't able to see his sadness. We then see a glimpse of Ness' imagination, and Ness thinks that there must be magic in this world somewhere, because when he first read his book, he was so excited that he couldn't sleep. He can't explain this kind of feeling. He then searched for magic and went outside, as he likes things more that can't be explained, much more than things that can be explained, and young Ness is then at the entrance of a stadium and sees football, which is something that can't be explained. A player scores a goal and Ness is mesmerized. Football, this is magic. A single goal can engulf people in ecstasy. I want to do this. I'm going to be a football player. From this moment on, Ness practiced football and never stopped, and we can see his family doubting him and thinking that he's an idiot who will just come back and cry. But Ness continues to persist and play, as he wants to prove to his family that he will become a pro who will represent Germany, and someday he will become a person who can cast magic on the world. The scene cuts, and we can see his teammates who think that Ness is amazing and unbeatable in this city, and a coach of Best at Munich comes to Ness and wants him to do a tryout for Best at Munich. Ness agrees and has his tryout game, and he's scared at first as all the players around him are big and look strong, but there's no way that he can give up now. He knows that if he performs well in this red and white match, he will have a chance to sign a pro contract with Germany's #1 club Best at Munich. Ness on Team White dribbles and sprints and gets past Team Red's number 7. Team White then wants Ness to pass the ball, but Ness at first thinks that it's a little late there, but is still going for the pass, as suddenly Red Team's number 7 caught up to Ness. Ness is super surprised, as the player he was supposed to have passed already came back here to see the ball. Number 7 then scored a goal, and Ness is devastated. He's starting to doubt himself, as the opponents are much stronger than the ones he has fought before, and his individual skills and imagination are barely competitive, but his tactical sense, coordination and recoverability, they all got knocked back. Is his magic, his football, not good enough for the world? His teammates are starting to get mad at him, and Ness wants them to shut up as he fell into the ground, remembering the words his family said to him. But when Ness looked up, Kaiser suddenly stands in front of him, asking him if he believes in what is impossible. The magic he continued to believe in was denied, his fleeing, empty dream was quickly lost. In this world where darkness is at its peak, A savior reaches out, and this is how this week's chapter comes to an end. Very cool chapter about the past of Ness and how we got to know Kaiser, and I really love how Kaneshiro is portraying several motives in the world of football of why people start to play and fall in love with football in the first place. There are some who do it out of passion, some who do it for money and fame, and some who do it to escape reality, and so on. Blue Lock is much more than just football in action, and Kaneshiro puts great focus on the mental aspects around football, like when he focused depression through the characters of Yukimiya and Snuffy. Alright guys, what do you think about this week's chapter? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, stay safe and have a nice day.